Hello, welcome to the channel. This is really a first test to see whether camera systems work and whether I'm any good at editing videos really. But it's a start, and on the bench today I have Atari STFM motherboard. I went over to the other side of Reading today and collected it from the person who was selling it. He said that he'd switched it on, it booted to gem fine, but when he had a keyboard plugged in, it didn't work. The keyboard didn't work. He also sold me a keyboard with the machine, and he said that keyboard on another system worked fine except for the mouse and joystick ports. That's a normal problem where you've got, because of the continuous insertion and removal of the ports, they're only held on really by solder, and the solder cracks. Anyway, let's switch over to the bench camera and I can go through this a bit more. Right, what we have here, normal early to mid age Atari STFM motherboard. It's got 512K of RAM. It's thankfully, being one of the older ones, it's got space to upgrade to the full 1 meg. Also, this has got a Marpet style memory upgrade. These go into the MMU socket and plug into the shifter socket with the shifter going on top. I'm not sure what size those SIMs are. They could be 256K or they could be 512. Looking on the board, it doesn't look as though the RAS and CAS lines have been disconnected here, which suggests that the onboard RAM hasn't been disabled. I haven't powered this up or anything today, so this is an adventure. To run it, I've got an Exos power supply, so let's plug that in now. Note that it's all open to the air, so got mains voltage there, so I've got to be quite careful. I've also got a GoX drive, which is essentially an SD version of a Gotek, slightly customized with a frame to fit the ST. And let's plug that in. Pin 1 to pin with the stripe there. And plug in the power. Unfortunately, this has got a floppy cable which needs to be twisted, which is a right pain. That should be good enough. Put the display there. And I've also got an Exos die cartridge. So we'll put that in there. Connect the video. And power. Right, let's switch this to the showing the display. Right, let's see what happens. Oh, I better put the keyboard. Hopefully this machine's got a problem, because then that'll be a longer video. But let's see. Let's switch on. Oh, bus error. Let's wiggle this. It could be a bad connection here. Nope, we have bad RAM, I think. Let's move this around, and it's probably, this isn't aimed properly. Try again. Nope. Let's disconnect this RAM. Switch on. Yay. Right, okay. That was a RAM upgrade problem. You never know what these are going to be like. Switch off and try again. I note that the grounding isn't very good. Let's stick that in there for the time being. See what happens. Right, okay. Works now. Right, let's run through, let's see if the keyboard works. It works. So that's one, unfortunately, it seems as though the machine's working properly, which means it's going to be a shorter video. But let's run through the tests. Right. That looks like it's a working machine, unfortunately. So that means that it's really going to be just a video about fixing the keyboard next. So I'll pack this machine away. Actually, before we do that, let's switch off, take the die cart out, switch on again, see what happens. Interesting. In Gem, it's not working. Right, let's put the die cart back in. Right, let's do K for keyboard. That seems to work. Let's go to trackball. Trying to remember which one is the mouse port now. That's a bit wrong. Okay, so maybe we've got something more wrong with the keyboard. Let's try a different keyboard. This is my known working external keyboard. I built it for a machine where I upgraded to with a ST536 board. Right, let's switch on. Okay, let's try keyboard in. Right, that one's working. Oh, not right button's not working. Left button's working. Okay, right, let's sort that out. Right, but there's no it's not running, not working outside of the diagram. This is a very strange one. Not seen this before. Let's back it in. Switch back on. Fine. Keyboard. Fine. definitely working. That's very weird. Keyboard, and say keyboard is working correctly. Haven't got the wiring loom up the test harness, so that's not going to work. I'm not sure where to go from here, seeing that the ROM checksums work. It's only TOS 1.0, and this is 6 ROM. I don't think I've got a 6 ROM TOS. I'm going to have to go away and have a think. I thought it was just going to be a relatively easy fix. Well, given that it was that keyboard showing some problems with the mouse input, but otherwise it was working fine. And with this, although as you can see in the diagram, everything working fine, but it's not seeing the keyboard when booting off of the main ROMs. What I might do is take that Marpet RAM upgrade out, because then at least I've got a baseline or for the system, and that, well, I can't blame the RAM expansion for any problems. Right, let's disconnect this. Disconnect this. Switch over to the other camera so I can see what I'm doing. I don't need the floppy connected at the moment. So first of all, I'm going to remove the shifter board, but first I'll remove the shifter from the board. Put this somewhere safe. I've got to get underneath here to lift the board straight. I don't want to bend any pins. There we go. Right. That's one board out. Pins are okay. Right, now the MMU board. Again, trying not to bend any pins. That's okay. Right. Put the shifter back in. Let's put some super contract cleaner. Electrolube EML, probably the European equivalent of Deoxit. Right, that's back in. Spin it around the right way, that would help. Right, now that's in. Let's get the keyboard. Swing this out a bit. So right, switch on. Yeah, I will plug this in. Right, let's see what happens. Right, at least we get to the diagnostics. We have full mouse. That seems to work. What do we get now? Still no keyboard. Reset's not working. Not properly anyway. Let's deoxit that. Oh, let's electrolube that switch. Eventually you can get to the desktop, and definitely no mouse input or keyboard. That is very strange. Right, I think I'll leave the motherboard as it is for the moment, and then I can concentrate on that other keyboard and have to then have a think and possibly ask on the Exos forum, see if anyone has any ideas, because I've never met this thing before. Obviously it's working under the diode cartridge, so the hardware must be working. All the ROMs are passing their CRC checks. As you can see, it's booting to desktop. No problem there. Right, let's pack this away and get on with the keyboard. And as I said before, basically by people pushing the mouse and joysticks in here, the solder joints in here usually just break. Right, let's. I'm going to have to eventually go outside to replenish my water supply for the soldering iron sponge. But first of all, I'll dismantle the keyboard. We'll see what's inside and go from there. First we'll take this bracket off. Annoyingly, you usually need to have two sizes of screwdriver, this sort of thing, because the small ones use a different size tip. It doesn't feel as though these have been undone previously. Right, I'm going to put them over the far side exactly in order, so it's easier to get them back in the right place. I'm very much a stickler of not putting all the screws in just into a dish or a bowl, just to just instead line them up in relative position where they came out. To get to the next set of screws, you have to unstick this protective plastic. This is basically to prevent the underside of the keyboard shorting on the RF shield on the top of the motherboard, which this one doesn't have. Right, it should come out now. Right. Okay, right. Biggest problem are these cups. Thankfully they haven't come off. One's come off. No, sorry. The return key only has one rather than they're designed for 2 cups. Let's have a quick inspection. Yeah, they look broken. So I'll just get the I'll just go and get the soldering iron heated up and see about this soldering. On the keyboard, it's probably hard for you to see. Yeah, let's move this up. On these these are the 2 DB9s, and these always crack. It's just a matter of reflowing the solder. That one's really bad. It's not flowing properly. Let's put some flux on there. Flux I usually use is some chip quick. I find it really good for quite a lot of things, such as SMD soldering. One's bad, then the other one would be bad as well. That's better. these ones as well. Oh, that's a lot better. Always put your tools away. After finishing the job. Right. As we can see, what you might be able to see there. Far, far better now. Right, let's see if I can get the keyboard top back on without any of these domes coming off. The power LED is always a difficult one to get in to begin with. Right. Right, Groove. I think we've done it. Right, I'll just fit the corner ones in first. Go backwards until you feel it click. Then you go down on the original thread and don't start stripping plastic. Now those are in, I can start doing the rest. This metal bar is supposed to be the strain relief for those DB9s, but never seems to work very well. Right, that's that back together. I just need to now bring up my test machine. This machine, slightly different to normal because I've basically added a CPU switcher ROM decoder for 2.06. It's got underneath there 68,000 here, and this is a second socket, and I can switch between the two using this switch here. And it's got 4 meg of RAM on the motherboard. Let's put the power supply back in. It's always a bit of a struggle getting that one in. There we go. Plug the power in. Right, there. I can now plug this keyboard in. Before doing anything else, always check your test system is working. Let's switch on and see what happens. Right, okay, there we go. 4 meg RAM, TOS 1.4. At least the K still works. Left shift doesn't seem to work. Has that dome shifted? Oh, I'll have to look at that later. Right, that's working. Let's get the trackball connected up. Let's see if that works. No, that's giving erroneous results. Okay, let's switch off. This keyboard isn't working properly. Oops, I had it on the wrong. Right, the keyboard isn't working, okay. It's nothing to do with that shift key. Let's take this controller chip off and reseat it with some electro lube, just in case it's this, because I can't see anything else that's wrong here. It's mostly working, so it can't be much wrong with it. It's almost as if there's a short circuit, or it's not picking up all the lines correctly. Pin 1. Right, plug this back in again. Switch machine on. So far so good. Let's go OK. Nope. That is completely, it's not right at all. I'm going to have to get the schematics for the keyboard to see what I can determine from this. Because obviously this is producing, the mouse control is producing keyboard problems. What happens if I put it onto the joystick? Oh, I had the wrong one. That was what it would help if I plugged it into the right port, wouldn't it? So that's working. I need to have a look at that shift. It's probably just the dome moved out of the way to the wrong position. So that seems to be working. Switch off. Switch on without the diag. Yep, so we have a working mouse. Right, I won't do that. Okay. Right, the keyboard's working. It's just the very strange problem with the other one. So I think I'll leave this for now and do another video for trying to find out what's going wrong with the other motherboard, because that's a very, very strange and baffling, to be honest, problem. Yeah, so see you soon.